All right. What's going on, everybody? Let's see. Is my audio a little choppy? We good? Hold on.
Yes,
All
all
right.
good.
Okay. All right, everybody. What's going on, man? This is your man Frank, View from the Man Cave. Y'all know who this is. Y'all know what this is about. So, today, um, I'm gonna I have a guest on today. We're gonna talk about a few things. We're gonna get deep for a second. But I just want to make sure everybody's good, man. I hope everybody's having a good Tuesday. I hope everybody had a good weekend. You know what I mean? This is Thanksgiving week. We have Thanksgiving in a couple of days. And so, I know that, because of COVID, things are going to be a little bit different this year. But I hope that you guys have an opportunity to spend some time with, a few of your family members and eat good and watch some football and all that stuff. And in me, man, I'm tired, man. I'm tired beyond measure. I've been running around all day today and yesterday, working, handing out food, things like that. So I just been real busy, man. Earlier today, I was running around like crazy, man, doing a little bit of this, right here. So I got up with a few brothers, man, from the group that I'm in, the fraternity of men that I'm in. And we went around the city, PGDC, just handing out turkeys, man, handing out Thanksgiving baskets to some very special people. So I enjoyed that. It's very good, man. I take pride in serving. To me, charity is clarity. You know what I mean? It keeps me humble. It keeps me focused. And it's something that I enjoy doing. You know what I mean? Giving back to the community, giving back to the people who have given to me. So I think that's very important. I know when my kids get a little bit older, I want to start doing some things like that with them, taking them to some places, to some shelters and letting them, watch me. And then, when they get a little bit older, let them have the opportunity to serve the people, man, serve them some food, things like that. I've done that a lot over the course of my life. And I find it, it brings me a lot of joy and a lot of pleasure to be able to help people. I see you guys in the chat. I see Miss Witt, Nikiva, GK, Dev. I see y'all, man. Thank y'all for pulling up. So, yeah, man, I just been busy running around doing that. It wears me out, you know what I mean, from time to time, but I do enjoy it, and I wouldn't trade it in for the world. I wouldn't give it up for anything else, man, to be able to give back to my community. So I dropped a video last night. It is posted on my YouTube channel. And I did it last night. I just did some recorded content and put it out. This is it right here. Burying the beef, the value of growth, development, learning from your mistakes and moving on. I had fun making that video. And let me see. Oh, so yeah, I have fun making the video. And just talking about a few situations that have happened in the last week or so, with the versus battle between Guwap and Jeezy, and then the situation with the reunion, with the 30-year reunion for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Both of these situations brought some issues to the table about some differences. Some people had some beefs, and people weren't speaking for a long period of time. And so both of those situations have been rectified for the most part. People shook hands. They spoke their piece. They got past what they were on. And so that's a very good look. And I just talked about in that video. It's up. I put it up late last night, so you guys can check that out as well. But on that note, man, I'm going to introduce my guest tonight. This she is not new to the channel. She's been a supporter for a long time. I know this young lady. I know her personally. So I tell y'all all the time, man, when I do these shows, I can't really fake. I can't fake it because there's so many people who support the channel, who listen in, that I know personally. So if I come before y'all faking, or if I get up here before y'all, talking about things that aren't true, talking about things that I'm doing that I'm really not, people are going to hold me accountable for that. You know what I'm saying? So this young lady will be one of those people. I know her on a personal level. Beautiful young lady, man, good heart. And so, we're going to break down this fifth edition of the Man Cave Mail. So she reached out to me, and then my wife, with some comments, some questions, what I mean, maybe a concern here and there. And so, I was going to do the live anyway, but then she reached out. This sister reached out and said, I want to hop on. Let's do it together. Let's tag team. And so I said, bet. What I mean, without a doubt, we can do that. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest tonight, Miss Sharita. Miss Sharita is here. What's going on?
Hello, hi everyone. How are you? I'm Sharita, friend of the Rivers family. I wanted to also say really quick, shout out to you for giving back to the community today, and also want to shout out to Rasha, your wife, who I absolutely
Uh-huh.
adore.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, we were at the school yesterday, passing out food, man, for everybody who ordered from Honey Baked Ham. It was crazy. Like, we were out there till like 8 o'clock last night, man, in the cold, because the school is closed, so we couldn't get in the building, to use the
Right.
bathroom and nothing like that. So we were outside all day, man, just passing out food. But it was worth it though. I mean, we all froze for a good cause.
And of
Yeah,
course, our school definitely appreciates that.
yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm not gonna hold the people up any longer. So we can kind of go wherever you want to take it. I know you reached out, what I mean, about a situation that was close to you, and you can talk about it. You go wherever you want to go with it, and then I'll give my opinion and comments on it, and the people in the chat will do the same. We'll just go from there.
Okay. Well, I reached out to you because I've always had questions about how men think and how they
Hmm.
operate, just based on my life experiences and things that I've been through, in the dating game, the marriage game, all of that. I'm kind of new to the dating scene now, and I haven't dated in a while, and I actually just started dating this year. This is my first time actually dating someone
Hmm.
in maybe like close to 4 years of me literally not dating anyone. So
Hmm.
I think what I've been kind of pondering about over in my head is I'm just kind of curious as to why men do some of the things that they do. I feel like I have an idea, but I'm a woman, and it's just my idea from a woman's point of view. But I think that what I think I'm wrong. Um, for instance, I've known men to say certain things that I feel like they may just say maybe in the beginning, or they may have intentions on doing certain things, or maybe they kind of word things in a way where it comes across a certain way when it's actually not what they mean. I hope I'm being clear about how I'm communicating this. Basically, it just seems like a lot of men, even over the age of 40, still have a way of saying things that they really don't mean. And I'm just curious to know, like, why do they do that? Why do they
Okay.
feel the need to do that? Why can't they just say what they feel and say what they mean?
Okay. Let me start right here. So, what are some things that you're hearing? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
what are some things that you're hearing that their actions aren't lining up with that? I'm just curious.
well, I'll just use this one particular person for an example.
Hmm.
I met someone. We were kind of getting to know each other as friends. I let him know up front what I wanted in a situation, in a relationship. And let me just put this out there. Right now, at the age that I am 46 and a half years old. I've been married before. So I'm
Hmm.
not really looking to get married again. But
Okay.
I do want, and I do want a relationship with one man, an exclusive relationship. So I was very upfront about that. In which he pretty much said he was looking for the same thing. We use the
Okay.
word companionship. I look at it as
Hmm.
companionship at this age because I'm at the age where that's pretty much what I'm looking for, but I don't want the marriage. I've been through two marriages and I just feel like after being married two times, at my age, I just don't feel like it's the best option for me at this point in my life. So
Okay.
pretty much, he pretty much said, the same thing that he was looking for companionship, that he didn't want to deal with more than one woman at one time. And
Hmm.
we pretty much were on the same page in the beginning. But as time went by, things started to kind of like change. So that's where the questioning came into play with me because maybe the first 3 months things were going really good. But then
Okay.
I kind of noticed he started pulling back a little bit. And let me be clear when I say this. He's a good man. He's a nice man. He's a respectful man. And I do not suspect for 1 minute that it had anything to do with another woman. But for some reason, he did begin to pull back, and he stopped doing. He stopped moving how he was moving in the beginning. I believe he got comfortable.
Okay. Um, okay. So is he around your age, or you guys are both around the same age, or is he a
We're in the
little older
same
or
age
younger?
group. We're in the same
Okay.
age group.
Okay.
We
Okay.
have a lot of things in common as well.
Okay. Um, it can be a few things. Let me say this. First, I'm glad you I'm glad you reached out. That's number one. Um, and I kind of have somewhat of an idea what I think is going on, but I really don't. Obviously, I don't know him, so I don't know. But I would just say that um, when things like this happens, when guys when this happens, um, it could mean one or two things. A lot of times when guys do something like this, when they say things that they really don't mean, a lot of times is and I know you said that this is not your situation or you don't believe it to be your situation. But a lot of times, ladies, when guys say things that, their actions don't match, a lot of times they are entertaining other women. And so what guys will do is, and I'm just opening up the book for y'all. I'm opening up the playbook. You know what I mean? I have to do that. Um, First and foremost for my sister here tonight and for all the ladies listening and who will listen. And, on top of the fact that I have a daughter, so my daughter's going to have to get this game. You know what I mean? She's going to have to get this work. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But a lot of times when guys do that, when their words don't match their actions, a lot of times it's because, they're still playing the field. They have a lot of women out there and, um, and they're trying to juggle. They're trying to juggle these women around. I mean, it's just flat, straight up and down. I'm not going to sit and act like I'm holier than thou. I'm not TD Jakes. You know what I'm saying? I've been out there in the field too. I've been young, and and I've been a player, so to speak, and I've played those games too. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just told women and men tell women what they want to hear, what we think you want to hear. You know what I mean? There's certain things that certain men will do because they think that that's the easiest way to the cheeks. You know what I mean? If I tell her there's certain buzzwords that we know that women want to hear, or we think women want to hear. We think that women want to hear words like commitment. We think women want to hear words like relationship and trust and all of these things that we know women like or that we think women like. So we'll use these words because we know that y'all like that. And we know that if we can open your mind and we can open your heart, that's eventually going to lead to your legs being open. You know what I mean? Flat, straight up and down. That's how we move. When we're vibrating on a lower level. So we will do that. We will say things that we really don't mean. Um, you know, it is what it is. And so a lot of times men will do that because they're juggling multiple women. They have multiple women. And so you're not necessarily the woman that he really wants the most, but he likes you, he's feeling you. He enjoys your company, wherever you're at in a relationship, if you guys have been intimate or whatever, he enjoys that. But he has other women that he's entertaining sometimes, and you may not necessarily be the one that he really wants. So he's going to, basically put a woman and women into a stable, he has a stable of women. And so there's one woman, or maybe one or two, that he really really likes. He's really into this one particular woman right here, but she's not coming along yet. She's moving a little slow. You know what I mean? He's kicking it with her. Maybe they're talking on the phone. Maybe they're going out to eat here and there, but it's not really flowing the way that he wants it to yet. So in the meantime, he'll go to his other stable of women. You know what I mean? And he'll entertain them if he's having sex with them, or if they're kicking it, if their relationship is a little bit farther down the road, he'll still entertain those women to occupy his time until he gets the woman that he really wants. Obviously, that's not your situation. Based off what you said, you don't believe that to be the situation, and if that's what you believe, I believe you. And but
Right.
there are a
Because
lot of others out here who move like that.
right, because I do want to add this bit of information to the situation.
Okay.
Actually, he lives very close to me, very
Mm-hmm.
close.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Close enough where I can see him every single day. Not to say that that has anything to do with it, but he pretty much lives on my floor where I
Mm.
live at.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And we would see each other on a day-to-day basis, like day to day, just about every day. But then we did have a
Okay.
conversation at one point where we was like, we don't want to get tired of each other, so you know we just want to make sure that we're moving in a way where we're not seeing each other too much because we live so close together.
Right.
I'm normally, my radar is normally kind of good when it comes to, dealing with a man that has several women or other women at one time. My
Mm-hmm.
radar has never went off when it came to him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've been to his place a thousand times. He did tell me, and that he wouldn't disrespect me in that way by having any women there, or any women come by, or any women come over. Um,
Okay.
I just really don't get the impression from him, because I can normally pick up on it unless he's just that good. I never really got the impression from him that there were other women in the picture.
Right. Yeah.
But this is
Yeah.
during COVID as well.
Right.
So we didn't have a friendship before COVID. We just
Mm.
came into this right after the quarantine started. So it was, yeah, it's
So
COVID
okay.
dating
Okay.
is what I
Okay.
call
So
it.
okay. So let me ask you this, and I see some people chiming in. Greg, what's going on? I see you. Um, do you think that this is just, or it could be just a fling? Like, it's COVID. We can't go anywhere. I see you. You cute. We live in the same building. We live on the same floor.
Right.
Let's just kick it and do our thing.
Well,
But then when
I
things get,
normally
you
would
know,
think, I normally would think that that's what it is,
okay.
but um, I do know that he was trying to get my attention for a long time before he actually got my attention.
Okay.
Now that doesn't mean anything, because once you meet somebody, you start to get to know them. You know, it's it's more than just looks to the
Right.
equation. So if it's a fling, it's been going on for almost 8 months. So
I mean,
I'm
it's a
not,
long
to
flame.
be
Yeah.
honest. It could be a COVID fling. It's not just a sexual relationship.
Okay.
Um, he's also, I've been able to depend on him for a few things. He's come through for me in that way. Not to say that doesn't mean anything, but I'm just saying, I didn't really look at it as a fling, but on the other hand, it's not a full blown relationship as well. And I actually told him, like, hey, we can be friends, we can still, kick it, chat, whatever.
Mhm.
But I did let him know that I'm going to date other men. I want to see what else is out there.
Okay.
We've still been in contact. There's no hard feelings between us. I guess I just kind of feel like, if it's not women, could it be something else? Because, like I said before, I really didn't get the impression that it was any other women.
Okay. I
Like,
mean, it could be, you know, it could be a myriad of things. A lot of times it might not necessarily be another woman, but sometimes, see, here's what's going on in the dating game right now. You know what I mean? From where I sit.
mm-hmm,
I think that a lot of people aren't really whole. They're not really, happy or where they want to be, and they're not really content with where they are in their life. But it still doesn't stop or prevent this insatiable, unyielding desire to be in a relationship or to be with somebody. You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? Like, for example, when I was out here young and dumb, you know what I mean, and full of sauce running around in the street, I knew that I had issues, and I knew that there were emotional issues that I had. You know what I mean? I knew that I was out here moving around and I may not have necessarily gotten over an ex that I had or some chick that I was really feeling that, we didn't work out. I knew I wasn't really completely over that, but it didn't stop my desire to want to have sex. You know what I
right,
mean? It didn't stop me from, it didn't make me say, you know what, Frank, you ain't really ready to be out here yet. You know what I mean?
right.
Like, you still got some stuff going on. You still got some emotional, psychological stuff going on with you. You really ain't ready to be out here playing the field. You
Yeah,
really should
and you're
be out.
actually barking up the tree that I was. That's where my mind was at. That's
Right.
kind of what I'm thinking may
Okay.
be the situation.
Right.
Like, I heard your show on the soul ties,
Hmm.
and I couldn't help but to wonder, you know, could it be that?
It could, it could be. I remember saying in that show, Miss V, I see you, Jacqueline, as well. Thank y'all for pulling up. Um, I remember in that show vividly saying that a lot of us are in relationships with people that have soul ties to someone else. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And that's very real. You know what I mean? A lot of times we get out of a situation or an entanglement or relationship or whatever, and we really haven't healed yet. We're really not ready to move on, but we still have this insatiable desire to want to be with somebody. We still want to have
Mm-hmm.
sex. We still want to Netflix and chill. We still
Mm-hmm.
want to hang out with somebody and, you know what I mean, have fun and joke and play around and go out on dates with people, even
Mm-hmm.
though we know that we're not ready yet, even though that we know that our soul is tied to somebody else. And so a lot of times, it it will cause a man to jump out there, but he won't necessarily go all the way because he can't, because emotionally he's not ready to do that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Even if he's gotten over the ex he was with, even if we've gotten over that female that we used to run with back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
maybe because of what happened, the fallout from that, we're afraid to go deep. You know what I'm saying, with somebody else, because like you said, I mean, by your own admission, you said, look, I've been married and I've been there and I don't want to go back to that point again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And a lot of that, and I'm not saying that's your situation, but a lot of people who feel that way, it's because of fear. Like, I done
Right.
did it, and I done been with somebody, and we done got our name. I done got my name changed, and we sharing bills, we sharing accounts, and we're real intimate with everything. Is there's this 3-strand cord, and then it doesn't work, and that's tough.
Right.
That whole breakup situation and divorce and all of that, that's really tough, and I don't want to go through that again. You know what I
And
mean? And so,
he did have a, I'm not going to go into detail what it was, but he did have a past situation that
okay,
kind of, it went bad for him. So I kind of wonder, sometimes, like, it could be that. And that's why I was, I have to respect what he wants for himself the same way he has to respect what I want for myself. So, like I
true.
said, there isn't no hard feelings. Like, there's no beef, there's no hard feelings. I said my piece, and he took it. So,
Right.
it's not a bad thing. Sometimes things just go that way. But it just kind of made me like wonder, like, I thought at least by the time you're in your mid 40s, you kind of know what you want and know where you're going, and but I guess I don't know. I guess some men still don't have that all the way together. I'm assuming.
Right. And that's very true. And I see the comments are rolling in the chat. And honestly, I'm gonna read what Terrence says. Terrence says, shout out to Terrence. He says, this sister seems cool, but to be frank with you ladies, it seems like the man got what he wanted and then dipped. That, that does happen, obviously. Brothers will we'll show ladies a facade, we'll show
Mhm.
ladies what we think you guys want to see, and
Mhm.
then when we get what we want, we're a ghost. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we do those things from time to time, and that very well could be the situation here. But the point of this live of this show was, why do men say one thing and do another?
Right.
So
'Cause
if so he could have, so this brother literally could have done what Terrence just said. And
yeah,
and,
because
and
pretty
I see
much.
Belize, I see people in the chat kind of agreeing with
Right.
that, and maybe I do too. But and I don't necessarily think that's the problem. The problem is that if he wanted to just have a fling and get his rocks off and then dip, maybe
Yeah.
that's is okay. But that's not what he's telling you. He's telling you that
The
he's got feelings
action
for
said a
you, he
lot
likes
more.
you, and he wants more and all that. You know what I mean? He's
Right.
telling
And
you things that don't
actually it was
line
the
up with
actions. It was actually the actions.
right.
Because if we hadn't said what it was, anybody on the outside would have assumed we were in a full-blown relationship, because
Right.
that's how we were moving. Like the daily texts, checking in texts,
Hmm.
just looking out for me in general. My car had got a flat tire, he did take care of my car for me. Anything I could call him and say I needed something, just random things that he would do for me. And it just went from like relationship stuff to I'm get maybe I'm getting too attached. Let me fall back a little bit. Like
Hmm.
that's kind of, because I wouldn't say it was a dipping thing. Like it wasn't a got what I want and now I'm gone. It didn't move like that. It kind of moved in a way where we were getting tight,
Okay.
and it was actions were like relationship actions, but then he kind of started pulling back a little bit, and I just took it as, okay, maybe because of the past situation, he's getting too caught up. Maybe he don't want to get too caught up too fast, or maybe he realized he's getting too caught up, and maybe I need to fall back.
Right.
But
Right.
like I said, I can't read a man's mind. So that's another thing. Like, y'all can't just tell us. Like I would really like for men to like really understand it. Like, being honest and just saying what it is, it goes a long way.
Right. I mean, that's true. And you know, I shout out everybody in the chat, man. Stating their piece, speaking their opinions, man. All of them are dope. I agree with. I agree with them. Um, and I think that's the main issue that my sister's having, and that a lot of women have. And at the end of the day, it's like this. You know, men. Let me read this right here real quick from Terrence. He said, "View from the man cave. The reason why is some men put women into categories. Certain men will try you and see what they can get away from or get away with, and then the moment you allow it, he loses respect and he runs with it."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we do have boxes for women, and we do, put women in certain situations to see how they respond, and then based on how they respond, we'll put them in a certain box. That's very real.
Right.
I think the issue with this live, and I think what a lot of women are saying, and how and a lot of women feel this way, is that they really want men to tell the truth. You know what I mean? Like if you know
And
if
more than likely, we're not going to get that.
right. I mean, and honestly, a lot of honestly, it's like this. You know, a lot of men are afraid to tell women the truth, for a myriad of reasons. Sometimes they feel like, okay, if I tell her what I really want, I ain't gonna get it, or whatever. But fellas, I tell you like this: if a woman is really into you, if she's really, really into you, 9 times out of 10, she's going to line up with whatever your program is. Like, there are women out here who, like, for a prime example, and I'm not saying that the majority of women do this, but there are some women out here who may like a guy, like they really, really feeling a guy, and that guy could have other women, and she knows he has another woman, but she's like, because I like this guy so much, and he told me the truth, you know, she makes an executive decision and says, okay, I may still do this for a period of time to kind of see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't lie to me. He said he had another woman. He said they were kicking it and he likes me too, but you know, he don't want to lose her. And there are some women out here who will say, you know what? He kept it real with me. He told me the truth. He never disrespected me. I didn't have to find out about it, you know, behind his back or whatever. He kept it real. He kept it, you know, he kept it 100 with me. And so I can, you know, for the time being right now, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, honestly, I can't. Like,
no,
I
no,
can
no.
take the
I
truth.
get I'm not saying that
Right,
the majority of women do that. For real. Like I
right.
know most of
I
the
just
women
want to
that
put
I
it out
know
there.
is
I'm
like
not
I
that
ain't doing
woman.
that.
You can
Right,
keep it
right,
real
right,
with
right, right,
me, but I'm not the woman that's ever going to line up with you having another woman. I can
right,
line up with a lot of things, but that's the one thing I definitely cannot line up with.
right.
Just to put that out there.
Yeah, I feel you though. You know what I mean? And but yeah, like ladies always, you know, watch what men do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and not necessarily what we say. What we do is the entree. You know what I mean? What we do is the steak. That's the fish. That's, you know what I mean? Shout out to Sasha in here. You know, that's your vegan, you know, entree. What we do. You know what I mean? What we say, that's a side dish. That's an appetizer. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's nice, but you really waiting on that main course. You really waiting on that entree. And so the entree is what we do. And when
Mm-hmm.
a man wants something, let me tell you something. Like we are very laid back, we're very calculated and strategic. But when we want something, we attack that with reckless abandon. We attack that with calculated aggression and assertion. When a man wants something, we go get it. You know what I mean? We don't have time to play around. We understand that there are other men out here and that, you know, that I'm not the only man that's looking at Sharita like that. There are other dudes trying to put their bid in. So if I really want her, I gotta step my game up and I gotta go get it. Or at least, you know what I mean, at least put my best foot forward and try to get it. You know what I mean? If she's not feeling me like that, so be it. But when a man wants something, he don't really play around with that. And so I feel like this brother, like some of the people have said in the chat, you know what I mean, the brother wasn't necessarily ready to take it all the way there, and he saw it was going there, and before it got to that
Mm-hmm.
point he was like, yo, maybe I need to take a break, you know, take a step back. No disrespect to her, it's not anything that she did, but I kind of see myself going somewhere, you know, where I'm not necessarily ready to go yet. And then
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time though, fellas, that's what Sharita is saying, and that's what these women are saying. Tell the truth. Don't just pull back or go shorty like that. You know what I mean? Like don't just change up and don't say nothing. Say, I mean, be honest. Say, look, yo, check this out. Like, I really like you. You know what I mean? Things are moving kind of fast, and I'm not really ready to move
Yeah.
at that pace yet.
Because I
You know
actually
what I
said
mean? And
something.
all,
I brought
yeah,
it up. I brought it up.
yeah,
He will tell you.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you know,
Mhm.
um, and like Terrence said,
Yeah,
we'll actually
because
change who
we're not gonna bite your
you
head
got to say.
off. If you tell me straight up, like, hey, it's going too fast, it's all good.
Right. Now, I'll say this too. A lot of times men are afraid to say that because we know what comes with that. See, there's consequences and repercussions for everything that we say and do in life. And so what a man will do is he'll say, you know what? I really like Sasha. I really like Jacqueline, man. You know, she's dope. And it's moving kind of fast, and I ain't really ready to move that fast yet. But I know if I tell Sasha the truth and say, you know what, we're moving too fast and I need to take a break or slow down, I know Sasha might be like, well, okay, well, I ain't, you know what I mean? Well, I'm not going to wait for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put my life on hold waiting for you to get ready to be what, you know, you
Mhm.
think you need to be with me. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of dudes won't say anything because they feel like if they tell you the truth that, you know, you're going to move on with your life, and they don't necessarily want you to do that. It's kind of selfish, low key. You know what I'm saying? But brothers will do that. You know what I mean? And that comes with a lack of confidence and just a lack of being assertive, because you always, at the end of the day, you know, we've lost the art of saying what we feel, like what we really, really feel. We don't do that. A lot of times we don't do that. Men don't do that. You know what I'm saying? A man could be like, hey, you know, we're moving too fast, and he's afraid to say that. Or he may be like, yo, we ain't moving fast enough. You know what I'm saying? And he's afraid to say that because he don't want to rock the boat. Maybe he's afraid that, hey, if I rock the boat, you know what I mean, I'm not going to be able to get what I've been getting. You know what I'm saying? And then, or if I tell her something that I don't think that she really is ready for, that she wants to hear, then then she's going to change. Because these women out here, I'm telling y'all, fellas, Belize and Miss V, Sasha, they ain't waiting around. You know what I mean? Sharita, they're not waiting around. So if you want to put your bid in, you know, they may entertain you, let you put your bid in, you know what I mean? Y'all date, hang out, whatever. But if you come at if you show her and you tell her all these things
Oh,
that allude to her thinking that you want something real, you know what I mean, or that you want to be in a committed relationship or a monogamous relationship, and then your actions don't say that, these women are not waiting around for you to figure it out. You know what I mean? They're not. So you got to make sure when you step to these women that you know exactly what you want and that you're willing to move like that. Because if you're not, you know, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you may have a good woman right there,
no.
but you're not ready for it. And then because you're not ready for it, you think she's going to wait around or do what you want her to do while you figure things out. And a lot of these women are not going to do that. They're not. Did you want to say something, Sharita?
No. Yeah, because that's one of my main that's one of my main. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Can
I
you
can
hear
hear you.
me?
Uh-huh.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Can you hear me
I can hear you.
now?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello? Oh,
I can hear you.
okay. You can hear me now. Okay.
Yeah,
Whole
yeah.
time I was throwing in little stuff and I thought you couldn't hear me. No, what I was gonna say, what I was gonna say is that's exactly right. That's exactly right. What Frank said, that's exactly right. We're not waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm very consistent. I'm a consistent woman. Whatever I show you in the beginning, you're gonna get in the beginning, the middle, and the end. I told my friend in the beginning, I have a thing about consistency. You can't start out one
Right.
way and be one way and then switch up next, because I will bring it to your attention,
Mhm.
in a nice way. I'll bring it to your attention. I'll try to communicate that with you. But I can't do inconsistency. So no, I won't wait.
Yeah, and,
What am
and
I
and you
waiting
shouldn't.
for?
Right, right, right. And you shouldn't. And
So
and
but yeah, everything what you said as far as women, I believe that to be right. Especially at this age.
right, like Terrence is spitting facts, man. And honestly, T, I agree with you
Oh
100%.
wow.
You know what I mean? Men, we're
Hello?
not. I can hear you.
Okay.
Um, Terrence is right. So a lot of brothers, we're not going to play our cards, ladies. We're not. You know what I mean? Y'all want us to be upfront.
I
Y'all
agree
want us
with
to be honest and
Terrence too.
transparent. We're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time,
I
the
agree with
majority
that.
of brothers out here are not, the majority of brothers out here are not going to do
Right.
that. So you just got to know, you got to understand the game. And this is a great opportunity for y'all. And that's why, I started the whole Man Cave Mail series because I wanted um people to just email me and ask questions, and a lot of ladies, the majority of them, I'm probably at like Man Cave Mail episode number 9 or 10 right now. I got like 4 other emails that I gotta run through and do a video for, and the majority of them are women, and there are women who are saying, look, Frank, you know I don't know what's going on with these brothers out here. I mean, I need you to tell me something. I need you, some of the brothers you rock with on your channel, I need y'all to give me some game because these brothers aren't, I don't really know where their head is at. They say one thing, they do another. You know what I mean? He said he don't want me, but then when he see me with somebody else, he jealous, he mad. You know what I'm saying? He looking at me funny. He texting me, disrespectful text or whatever when he see me with somebody else. But then when I try to give him the time of day, to try to give him the opportunity to show me what
I
he want me
forward
to
him a text,
see,
they'll
then
text
he
you
don't.
back.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And so God, so a lot of ladies don't really know what's going on. And so I'm here to tell you, a lot of these brothers are, they do, it's unfortunate, but a lot of us do play games, and a lot of us don't necessarily grow out of those games because we've never been forced to. You know what I mean? There are brothers who 40, 50 years old who've been able to move successfully from women to women playing games. And they never had to
Right.
or they never ran into a woman that was like, look, I'm not here for the games. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. And so a lot of
Right.
times, they'll move like that. And they've never had to basically grow
Okay.
up. Like their experiences have allowed them to play Peter Pan forever, where they can, act like a kid and never had to grow up. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, um,
Right. And I do want to say something about what Terrence commented. Can you
mhm.
hear me?
I,
Can you hear me,
yeah,
Frank?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay. I did see Terrence's comment that he made about value and standards. Can you hear me? Okay. The
I
comment
can
that
hear
he
you.
made about value and standards and the part where he said don't have sex, he's 100% right. I fully agree with him on that. Can you hear me? I'm talking, but I'm not. I think I'm going in and out.
You good? I
I
can hear you.
agree with
I can
the
hear you.
comment that Terrence made about having value and standards. Okay, I
Hmm.
do agree with what he said about having value and standards and not to have sex. In my situation, um, I normally would hold back the sex. I'm just being honest because we're on and I'm talking about it. I normally
Right.
would have held back the sex a lot longer. But like I
Hmm.
said, I did kind of slip up a little earlier because it had been some years. So in this
Hmm.
particular situation, I did slip up a little earlier than I normally would have because of the amount of time that had went by since I had
Right.
actually been with a man. So
Okay.
I did slip up and I kind of feel like that may have had, something to do with it as well.
Okay. So let's try to pinpoint it if we can. When did you start seeing the change? Was it after you guys started having sex?
No,
Did you guys have a
nope.
disagreement about something? Was there a fight? Like when, is there any event that you can remember that said, okay, he started changing or acting different after this or around this time? Is there anything like that?
Um, it wasn't after the sex. It wasn't after that. It was maybe a few months after that. I just started like it was like little small things that us as women we pick up on things quickly. Any little
O-
change, any little switch up, we gonna see it right off the top. I did
Okay.
notice, that he wasn't communicating as much like he normally had been. Um, it just like he kind of pulling back, but just a little bit. It wasn't like a big difference. It was like just a little bit. It started out like that, and then one time I think I did, bring it to his attention. I think I didn't hear from him one day, and I brought it to his attention, and he said, oh, he was dead, but he was doing this, that, and the third because he works from home. He teleworks from home, so
Okay.
he, I think he said something to the effect of, hey, I might not always talk to you, but you know where I'm at. I know where you at. Pretty much that in so many words. That's not what he said, word for word, but in so many words, that's pretty much what he said. So I said, okay, and I said, okay. I understand in the beginning things are like the honeymoon stage. I understand that as time goes by, you kind of settle into it. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Um, we did have a hiccup where that's when he pretty much pinpointed to me that we were just going to be friends. But we did have a hiccup, but it was an honest situation that went down. It pretty much was a text message that came from my phone to his phone at 3 o'clock in the morning, but it was a text message that I sent him 2 weeks prior. For some reason, it didn't show up on his phone until 3 o'clock in the morning on the weekend. So he texted me about it in the morning time the next day, and I had no idea what he was talking about because
Hmm.
I knew I was in the house sleep and I had no idea what he was talking about. So we did have a little hiccup when that happened, and he did let me know later on that day that that's why he keeps people in the friend zone. I'm
Hmm.
assuming that I could tell by his tone that he didn't believe me at first.
Okay. So so he
He didn't,
so he
he
so
didn't
he
believe me.
texts you. So he texted you and then you didn't respond to it, and he
No,
wasn't.
what it was I had the text came through on his phone in the middle of the night. It was a text. It was a text that was part of a string of text messages that I had sent to him back to back to back like two
Okay.
weeks prior. So it
Okay.
was just a random text, but the text was just, it was like a random text, but it was because I was mad about something at the time. So when I was texting, I would text him one thing, sending it, texting, sending it, texting, sending, and they was coming like back to back. So I'm assuming that one text that I sent, it
Mm-hmm.
didn't go through on his end till that night. And
Okay.
when he asked me about it, he said, "What was going on?" He said, "You sent me this text message 3 o'clock in the morning." I said, "I don't know what you did. We're talking in text at this time now." I said, "I have no idea what you're talking about." I said, "What text?" So he said, "You text me at like 3 in the morning." I said, "No, I didn't because I hadn't."
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of, it kind of rocked things a little bit. But when that came about, um, the pulling back had already kind of started. Like there was already a slight pulling back by that time. And then when that issue happened, I explained to him, like, look, I sent that text, but I actually sent that text 2 weeks ago when I was at this place during that time when this was going on. I said, remember? And he said, no, he didn't remember. But because he actually had it on
Mm-hmm.
his phone, it was like, no matter what I said, this is what I'm saying. This is what's on
Okay.
my
Right.
phone.
Right.
So yeah, so we did. That was like the one time we bumped heads,
Okay.
and
Do you?
I did tell him maybe like 2, 3 weeks later, we were still cool, but I could just tell like, oh, it definitely was, a change. And then I did eventually tell him, hey, I really don't appreciate. I didn't curse him out or anything, but I just said when I saw him one morning, we ran into each other, and I said to him, hey, I really don't appreciate you coming at me like that. I said, I never gave you any reason to think that I'm a liar or that I'm lying about anything. I never gave you any reason to doubt what I say. I said, so the fact that I told you that was an old text, for some reason it came through late on your text, which I'm quite sure everyone that's listening, you've had text messages that didn't come through on your phone right at the time it was sent, or you got it late, or maybe you sent someone a text message and it got to them late. I know this happens. So I did let them know, I didn't really appreciate that. Even though you have an actual text message in your hand, I'm telling you this is what it is. I've never lied to you before, so you have no reason to think what I'm saying is not true.
Right. Um. I'm gonna go through some questions from the chat. Like, that's how I do it over here. The people in the chat show love, and as long as it's respectful or whatever, I'm gonna ask it. Because people are asking certain things. So one question is, I think it was, let me try to go back and find it. From Greg's Circle. Do you think that you got to a point where you were being too clingy? Like, do you
I'm
think you were
I'm
clingy?
I'm the least clingiest woman you'll probably ever meet. That's kind of
Okay.
why I liked him, because I like to be by myself sometimes. I like to chill with him too, but I don't do clingy. I don't like clingy to me, and I don't like to be clingy with men. I already know that men don't like clinginess. So it wasn't a clingy thing. When we did go together, when we did get together, majority of the time he would hit me up and say, hey, you want to get together? You want to chit chat? You want to sit on the balcony? We could take a little nightcap. It was always on him. So it was never
Okay.
me, like, I never popped up. I don't do pop-ups. Um, I don't come unannounced. I pretty much let him lead. And I even told him that. I pretty much told him that, like, hey, I'm gonna let you lead and I'm just gonna follow your lead. So that's pretty much
Mm,
what I was doing,
okay.
following his lead.
Okay. I got another one from Miss Ford. Miss Ford is in here. Let me see what we got. So Miss Ford says, Rika Ford says, what I'm wondering is if he wanted a friendship and that's what y'all had and agreed to, plus he was getting everything he wanted, how did it benefit him to act like y'all were in a relationship? And
Exactly.
and I think right, and I think the issue, I'm telling you, he didn't, he might have wanted a friendship with benefits, but that's not what he told Sharita though. You know what I mean?
Nope.
And that's the
We
issue.
had a discussion about what we both wanted in the beginning. He asked me, did I want kids? Like, we had a whole discussion on that. What I want kids, and I told him I wanted exclusive companionship. I'm not looking to get married again. We don't even have to live together. I'm not even looking to be shacked up because I like to have my time to myself, and I would like for like I don't want to come in and change the man's lifestyle. Like I still want him to be himself, and then we just come together and do our thing. But long as it's just us and it's not other women in the situation, and of course I wouldn't have any other men in the situation.
Right. And so I ain't gonna front a lot of people a lot of people in the chat are kind of not really sure about the text message. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you sure you didn't send it like at 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Like you, I mean, I gotta ask. Like,
No, I
sure?
didn't.
I mean, if you
The
did, it's
text
on you. You know
message,
what I mean? That's all good if you did. But I'm saying,
I
like, you
can
sure you
actually
didn't send it at
explain the
3 a.m.
text message and what it said. The text message said, I'm sitting in my car trying to calm my nerves down.
Okay.
That's what the text message said. The text message was in relation to I had went to the McDonald's in like one of those neighborhoods, kind of hood. One morning I was leaving Target. I said, let me stop at the McDonald's and grab my son breakfast. And when I came, I was about 8:30 in the morning. When I came out, a guy had followed me out to my car, and he was literally on my heels. And I thought he was actually about to rob me because he kept trying to talk to me. And I kept telling him, you know, I'm good. No, thank you. You know, I'm being polite, but I'm also trying to get away from him. And he was like on my heels, following me all the way from out inside the restaurant all the way to my car. So when I got in the car, I hurried up and locked the doors. And you know, I pulled off. And then when I got around the corner, because I was kind of scared. So when I got around the corner, I was texting him. And I was like, you're right. I'm going to have to, you know, I need to learn how to shoot. You know, I'm texting him always, I need to learn how to shoot. I'm going to have to definitely give me some mace, you know, and I'm texting him. But I have a habit of texting. When I text, it could be a paragraph, but I'm texting it back to back to back. Like I have a habit of texting one line, send, text another line, send. So that's pretty much what the text was about. And I reminded him, like, remember that day? This is what was going on. Because why else would I be in my car at 3 o'clock in the morning texting you that I'm in my car trying to calm down my nerves or trying to calm my nerves down at 3 o'clock in the morning? And I also look at it like this, like, look, if I'm not telling the truth, then I could have just easily made up something.
Right.
My daughter has her own place down the street. I could have easily said, oh, my daughter had an issue, blah, blah, blah. You know what? I could just made up a lie. I have no reason to lie at 46 and a half years old and then lie about something like that. Because at the end of the day, I'm grown. I can do what I want to do at the end of the day. Right. So, you know, I'm not going to lie about something like that. And I understand, just like he told me, he explained to me on his end how it looked. And I even said, you know, I understand how it looks on your end.
How did he say it look? I'm curious. How did he say it look? Like, you know, what did he say about it?
He said the non-repudiation. He hit me with a law term. The non-repudiation of it says different.
Okay.
And to be honest, I took it as a sign. I took it as a sign. I said, for that to happen and I didn't do anything wrong, I kind of took it as a sign. I took it as a sign like maybe it wasn't meant to be.
So let me ask you this then. Do you think he was kind of moving towards, you know, you guys, you know, compromising and doing what you guys initially set out you wanted to do, and then he saw that and maybe he felt like, okay, she playing games, and you know, let me fall back now because I don't really know where she's at with it. You know what I mean? Like I like her.
I do.
You know, we were on good terms. Everything was rolling, and then I get this text at 3 a.m. I don't know what it's talking about, and now
kind of a slow pace too. That was another thing because he wanted to be friends first, which I was fine with that. I kind of wanted the same thing. I didn't want to jump into a full blown relationship. Like I really wanted to get to know him. So I do feel like we were moving in the same direction, and I do feel like that there was some pullback before that situation. I think when that situation happened, it definitely made them pull back.
Okay. And you know, some guys, man, like, you know, we're very smooth with it. Like I've been in situations in the past where, you know, I waited for a situation like this to happen to use it as a reason to get out of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And to make her think it was her fault. And to make her think it was her fault. But I wanted to get out anyway. But then when something happened, or, you know, when her phone rang and I thought it was too late for her phone to be ringing, I use that as an excuse to step to her and be like, yo, I don't, you know, you seem like you got other stuff going on. And so I was able to get out of it and have her thinking that it was something she did when it was me the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and that could be it too. Like, it depends on the brother, but we, you know, we have a lot of tricks, man. You know, like we have a lot of things that we do, you know, to do the things that we want to do. But I think the main issue, you know, with what you're going through and with what a lot of women go through is that a lot of times men are just not honest. You know what I mean? And you know, and this, and ladies, I'm telling you, if you're waiting on men to be honest, you're gonna be waiting for a long time. Because a lot of us, that's not how we it's not how we roll. So like you have to be very in tune to what he's doing. Because what he's doing is who he is and what he wants. You know what I mean?
It takes time.
Right. And it takes time. And, you know, when you're watching what he's doing, you want to make sure that y'all start getting intimate around the right time. Because if you get intimate too early, and especially if the sex is good, that's going to cloud your judgment. You know what I mean? That's going to allow you to start seeing stuff that ain't there. You know what I mean? Or you trying to justify what you think you saw or what you think you feel when that's not really what the truth is. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women get caught up like that too, because I've seen it, you know, all over my life, where women will be with a guy and they'll start, you know, smashing a little earlier than they should have, and it clouds the judgment. And so he's doing stuff, but her soul is tied to this guy, and she's so physically and emotionally tied to him that she's justifying his behavior. Like you know that he ain't really moving right. But it's like, okay, you know, but I don't know, but I love him. And, you know, he said he loved me and he said he wants this. And so I got to go with what he's saying. And a lot of times that's really not the truth. The truth is that you're emotionally and physically, sexually invested in this guy, and it's clouding your judgment. So let me ask you this. Right. And Miss Witt is very true. A lot of guys are afraid of commitment. Let me say this too. For all you ladies out there, a lot of men, and I'm just opening up the playbook, you know what I mean, a little bit for y'all, man, you know, but a lot of men, we want the benefits or the perks of a relationship without the responsibilities of it. And so what happens is that right now in this dating market that y'all are in, it's just a chess game between men and women to see, okay, my goal now is to extract as much of the perks as I can from this woman while giving the least amount of responsibilities to this woman. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the hustle right now. And a lot of women are doing it too. I can't take women off the hook either. That's what's really going on right now in this dating world, is that people are saying, look, I don't want to be played. I don't want to be cheated on. I don't want to be disrespected. So how can I extract as many perks as I can from the relationship? How can I get this man to break bread, to take me places, you know, to give me the sex that I want without me having to do all of the responsibilities and obligations that come along with the relationship? And men are doing the same thing on our end. How can we get everything that we want from this woman? We want this woman to be in pocket. We want her to line up. We want sex whenever we want it. And how can I get as much of that as possible and give her the least amount of responsibilities as possible? I ain't calling, I ain't texting. I'm not, you know, going out with her nowhere. I'm not taking her nowhere. You know, a lot of that is what's going on. So a lot of it, like I said earlier, even though there are men who are afraid of commitment, it still does not stop his desire to want to be with a woman. It does not stop his desire to want to have sex and have the company of a woman. That man knew. A lot of men, we know when we step to y'all, we ain't trying to commit to nothing. We already know that. You know what I'm saying? We know the first time we walk up on you, say, hey, baby, what's up? Or, you know, good evening, good afternoon, try to spark up a conversation, try to get your number, whatever. We already know, like, I ain't trying to commit to nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if she's everything I think she can be and more, I still ain't trying to commit. A lot of times we know that off the break. We come into the situation off the rip thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? But it still doesn't stop us from saying, yo, she look good. You know, I like how she's sitting in them jeans. I want that. You know, even though I ain't trying to give her nothing. You know what I'm saying? So Um, and so a lot of times, we're not ready to be dating. And because we're not ready to be dating and we're not ready to be honest with women, and we feel like certain women are not necessarily ready to be honest with us, we say things that we think women want to hear. You know what I
Right.
mean? So he knew off the break, like if I start talking about commitment, if I start talking about, trust, and what I mean, and us just being monogamous and all of that. We all know these are buzzwords that get legs wide open, or that's what we think. You know what I'm saying? So we know that. So we know we start spitting like that, and she already think we handsome and we smell good and we got a nice car and we move a certain way. We already know we in there. Like we got one foot in the door already. You know what I mean? So we know that. Like Jacqueline is on point. We're very smart. We know. I mean, we know what women want to hear, and so a lot of times, we put on a facade and we wear a mask to show you what we think you want in order to get what we want. You know what I mean? But a lot of but people nowadays, man, you really have to be honest. Honesty is the best policy. Unfortunately, men aren't necessarily doing that, and women aren't either for the most part. But you have to be honest, man. If it's getting too serious and you ain't ready for that, here's what I tell people too, because we're gonna get to solutions at the end, or how we think things can be better, or if it can be better. We're gonna get to that, but I don't give people it, like when I give people advice, I don't tell people necessarily what I think they should do. Like I don't say, okay, stop seeing him or stop dealing with her or stop. I don't do that for a couple of reasons. One, because if I tell you to do something and you do it and it don't work, then you're gonna look at me funny. That's number one. Number two, I'm not dumb, so people are gonna do what they want to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell somebody all day, and the writing is on the wall. Like, don't do it. Don't don't keep sleeping with him. Don't keep being with him. And if that woman is involved, if her heart is involved in it, she ain't gonna hear nothing you saying. She gonna go be with that man, or he gonna go be with that woman, regardless of what you say. So my thing has always been, I want people to just have the most information possible. I want people to understand the risks of what they're doing. When you understand the risks of what you're doing, you understand the probability of what's going to happen based off of what you're doing, then you make the best decision for you. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but it's I've been in a lot of situations. I've never been in or even heard of a situation like yours where like y'all actually live very close. Like y'all live in the same building. Like, do y'all live on the same floor?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So like when y'all aren't so okay, are y'all on speaking terms right now? Are y'all good, or what?
We're good. We're good. I said what I said to him, but like I said, we're good. Once that happened, he said what it was. I can't do nothing but respect what he wants, and he can respect what I want. We're good though. I mean, we still chit chat. We still talk as friends and all that. It's not no hard feelings. It's like I said. It's not. It wasn't like a knockdown, drag out. Oh, f him. I'm mad. No, it wasn't like that. Cause
Okay.
I still handle it like an adult. It is what it is.
Okay. Yeah, like
Um, was gonna say something. Oh yeah, but I did. Like I said, I was new, just jumping back out there with men just this year. So I
mhm.
realized where I made the mistake, and I feel like I know how to move now.
Okay. What mistake do you think you made, and how would you move going forward, or how are you planning to move going forward?
Definitely the sex. I shouldn't have went there. But let me be clear, because I heard what you were saying about the sex. What I liked about him and what kind of drew me into him, it wasn't the sex. I kind of go
Okay.
off energy. I like energy. I like, how we come together, everything clicking, we having a good time. He kind of made me laugh. I like funny men. Men that can make me laugh. You know, um, look nice, dress nice, smart. Handling their business. Got their own place. All of that combined into one. just the personality, that
Hmm.
kind of stuff kind of like draw me in. Whereas, the sex is not like, I'm not one of those women where, oh, if I have sex with you, all of a sudden, oh, I'm just, I can't even think straight no more. I'm just all over. Like, no,
Right.
um,
Okay.
that's not what's gonna do it for me. It has to be more than that. It has to be already a spark there for me, something already pulling me in before I even go down the sex road. Now, I went down the sex road with him a little sooner than I normally would. So I do know that that may be the main thing that I should not have done. So I
Okay.
know that now. But
Okay.
I looked at it as I'm 46, I'm older. It's not the same when you start to get older. At least that's how I looked at it. I looked at it as like when you're in your 20s, your 30s, whatever, you date and you meet somebody, you kind of move a little more careful. When you get older, I just felt like at an older age, I'm getting older. Like, what are we in high school? That's just how I look at
Yeah.
it. Like, what am
Yeah.
I in high school? Like, if I want to go there, it's been almost 4 years. Hey, I don't see anything wrong with it, and that's just kind of how I looked at it.
Right.
That's my
I mean,
choice to make. I don't regret it, but
yeah. I mean, yeah.
I have needs too, like a man has needs.
Right. I mean, it's just, I would say, the hope is that, the older you become, the more mature you become. You know what I mean? And the more honest you are with yourself and with other people. You know what I mean? And I
Hmm.
think that that's not always the case. And I think that you're starting to see a lot of situations like this, with people who are our age, or in our age range. Because I'm almost there too. I'll be 40 next year. I just turned 39 in the last week of October,
Hmm.
and I think that even in that range, you're still seeing a lot of games. You know what I mean? And because a lot of people, that data market it usually sparks up because a lot of people, they get a little older, maybe their kids are a little older, and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to step back out there. You know what I mean? It's been a minute. I had to get my mind right. You know what I mean? But now I'm getting out there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for all the ladies out there, all the young ladies out there, man, you just make sure that you watch what a man does. You know what I mean? Just as much as you watch what it is, just as much as you listen to what he says, watch what he does. That's very important. And until you see certain types of behavior, you keep your legs closed. You know what I mean? Look, I have a daughter. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell her the same thing. You know what I mean? And look, people take L's out here all the time. You know what I mean? But because a lot of people are playing games. A lot of people are afraid of coming out and being honest and saying what they want and being able to
Right.
deal with what somebody else wants. So a lot of people on both sides of the fence are playing games. So you have to protect yourself from that because people aren't necessarily going to be honest. Fellas, you can get with a female and this female is telling you all the right things and she's not living like that. You know what I mean? She's not. You know what I mean? And so it happens on both sides of the fence, like I said. So
Mhm.
that's why it's imperative for you to watch people's actions. That's why it's apparent for
Right.
you to see
And
how
the
people
actions
move in
were
certain
there. That's
environments.
that's the crazy part
Yeah,
about it, because I can go into a lot of details about a lot of different situations where the actions were there. Like, the actions were there. It wasn't just a one way, one sided situation. You know, the actions were there on both sides, on my side and on his side. I
yeah.
Like I said, it was just going good how it was going, and I still feel like, in the back of my mind, I still kind of feel like, at some point he realized like maybe things are going too fast,
Hmm.
and I don't want it to go fast. So I don't want it to, I don't want to go there. It's moving too fast. I'm getting scared. I don't know. Because I don't know if
Right.
men get scared or not. I assume they do, but I'm not a man to make that, to really make that statement. I really can't speak on that.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
just really the impression that I got because of how he treated me. You know,
Hmm.
he treated me good.
Hmm.
At least what I want, at least what I look for, what I want from a man. Like, you know, I was a little impressed by some of the things that he did. Um, I like the idea that I don't even have to, tell you certain things that I need and you just already know it. So it was like, it was a lot of things that, a lot of the actions was saying, like the actions were showing more, but then at some point he just started to pull back.
Yeah, yeah. Something tempt them off, and maybe y'all will get to a certain place, even if nothing comes of it, like a
Mm-hmm.
relationship or whatever y'all want. Hopefully he'll get to a place and a space in his life where he can just come out and be honest. You know what I mean? Because it could be anything. I know me. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here thinking, okay, maybe he was doing that, and then once the COVID numbers was going down and we start phasing up and we could go outside more, maybe he was like, this ain't something I want to do right now. Like maybe we can go outside some more. So maybe, I need to fall back and, cause I'm about to get ready to start going outside and seeing other people. I don't
Right.
know. But, but what I do know is that at the end of the day, man, it just makes sense to be honest. And so ladies, make sure that, we do that. It's unfortunate. You know what I mean? That's why I wouldn't even advise women to tell a man what you want. I mean, to be perfectly
Mm-hmm.
honest, I know that don't make sense to, just the first time you hear it. But if you tell a man what you want, he's gonna try to show you that, even if that's not who he really is.
And
You
in
know what I
my
mean?
case, he asked. And in my case, he
Right.
asked.
Right.
So
So
that
I'm
whole
yeah.
conversation came about on his end, not my end. I just
Right.
kind of like to go with the flow. I pretty much go with the flow. That's just how I had it in my mind this year when I decided I was going to start dating. I said, I'll go with the flow and, just see how things move.
Yeah.
I'm very headstrong, very
Mhm.
headstrong. So in my past marriages, relationships, I was very headstrong. It's kind of hard for me to let the man lead, but I've learned now that it's okay to let the man lead. I don't have to be so strong all the time. I could fall back
Mhm.
and kind of like depend on the man. So, whereas before I wasn't like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Don't say nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna stand on that because when you ladies, when you tell a man what you want, like it's because and it's good conversation. Like when you want to date,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? When you want to date and a guy might ask you, you may say, hey, what do you like in a man? Or what are some things that you like? When you tell him in a man's mind, okay, I'm like, okay, she says she like this. All right. She says, she likes places like this and she likes to read books like that and she likes this type of music. I'm like, all right, I'm putting that all in. So if I'm just trying to smash it, like if I'm not trying to be serious with you, I'm just going to show
Mm-hmm.
you what you told me you wanted to see. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you that,
Right.
even though that ain't really who I am. So I'm sitting here with Sasha, we kicking it, and I'm talking to her, and she like, well, I'm a vegan. I love vegan food. So I'm like, all right, I don't really eat that, but I'll take her to Everlasting Life somewhere. I'll take her somewhere to get some vegan food, and I'll show her that and make her think that I'm hip on that level, until I can hit it, and then I'm ghost. But if you don't tell a man what you want, he doesn't have the option to try to fake it until he gets what he wants from you. So so
Mm-hmm.
so tell so like if a man asks you, if he says what type of if he says what type of guy do you like, or what qualities do you like in a man, you know you just say something like this. You say, I know it when I see it. And when I see it, he'll
Right.
know
Because
that
I did
he'll know that
see.
I see it. He'll know that I see it, and I'll treat
Right.
him the same way to let him know that I know that I
Shout
see
out
it.
to Miss V because I saw her comment and she is
You know what I mean?
100% right. I will be taking that advice. Now that I see that men like to play this little game with some men, I'm not gonna say all men, some men.
Yeah. See, Sasha, I'm hip, man. Look, let me tell y'all something, man. Listen, I ain't gonna front, you know what I'm saying? I'm dry. I've been out the game 14 years. I've been married, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of cats be thinking like Frank don't know what he's talking about because Frank ain't out here. He don't see what's popping. I see it on top of the fact that I did. You know what I'm saying? And like I know what time it is. So I know you ain't even have to say nothing. You ain't even have to say that. I know because you're a vegan and you do your thing and you live a certain lifestyle that I know that when a brother steps to you and he's like, yo, this chick is gorgeous. I need that. I need to bag that ASAP. that when you tell him something like that, he's, you know, some guys who just vibrate on a lower level like that are going to come off and be like, yo, I'm just going to show her a little something. I may even try to cook a little vegan meal or take her to a vegan spot and have her thinking that I like this, and he really don't. He just trying to show you that because he thinks it's going to put him in a better spot in order to get the sex or whatever he's trying to get from you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I've been out the game 14 years, but yo, I know what's popping out here because I see it every day. You know what I mean? All of my friends are not married, you know what I mean? And I'm close enough. I keep my ear to the ground where we talk and I know what's going on. And I used to play some of these games. You know what I mean? I wasn't always married. You know, I played games too. You know what I mean? If there was a female out there I wanted and I knew I didn't want to commit to her or be tied down to her, but I knew I wanted to smash or whatever, you know, I would do that. I would lie. I'd be like, yeah, I listen to that. You know, oh, you like reggae, whatever. Yeah, I know a little something. You know what I'm saying? She come over the crib, I might play a little Bob Marley or a little, you know what I mean, a little Buju Banton or something. I don't know what that man said. You know what I'm saying? But I know she said she liked that. So I'm gonna play it and hopefully that'll get me in the, you know what I mean, in some cheeks or whatever. So guys do play games like that. So stop telling these men what y'all want. You know what I'm saying? Because men will do it. Like men will say, okay, she told me she liked this. So I'm gonna show her a little. So I'm not gonna go all the way out there and make it obvious, but I'm gonna add little. You know, I'm gonna season my game up a little bit to kind of fit what I know she just told me she liked, so that they can put me in a better spot in order to get what I want to get. Yes. So that's real, man. So don't tell him. He asked you. He said, what what type of man do you like, or what type of qualities do you like? You just tell him, I know it when I see it. And when I see it, I'm going to let that man know that I see it. You know what I mean? I'm going to treat him a certain way to where he knows that, this is what I like and this is what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? So if that's who you are, you'll know. You know what I mean? You'll know if you're that type because I'm going to show you. I'm going to treat you in a certain way where it's going to be obvious that, okay, you're the type of guy that I want. You know what I mean? Like you're doing it for me. Your conversation, your energy, your you know what I mean? Whatever it is about you, I'm gonna let you know by the way I act around you that, you know what I mean, you are what I'm looking for out here. But I can't tell you. I just gotta see it and then I'm gonna respond to what I see. You know what I mean? And I think that's gonna work best. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But so I'm not gonna hold y'all, man. I know I usually go a little ways, but I'm not gonna do Sharita like that. Is there anything else you wanted to say, about it, or if you wanted to speak on or allude to?
No, if I want to say, I've been reading the comments and a lot of things that the people that was commenting saying, they make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take some of the advice that I saw from the comments because, like I said before, I was kind of new to this. I didn't realize that grown men still play, games. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna sit here and say I thought none of them played games, but I really didn't think that me being asked what I wanted was a way for them to kind of like maneuver around that. But I definitely do see that now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And this is great because ladies,
this gonna help me in the future. So
yeah, and I have a lot of respect for you, coming on here and being honest and transparent. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, men and women, wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? And being that, over here in my space on my channel is very laid back. All the people are dope. They're positive. They're gonna be real with you, but they're gonna give sound advice. You know what I mean? I've been in other people's chats and they get
and
real.
I read every single one of the I was sitting here reading every single one of the comments.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of good advice given. A lot of advice that makes a lot of sense. It kind of also makes me see things that I didn't see before.
Right.
So this is actually, beneficial for me.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. A lot of people, will kind of put themselves in the closet because they feel like, well, like Frank, you 39, you supposed to know this. You know what I mean? No, the hell I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't lived the life that other people have lived just because I'm 39 years old and there are men out here who are 19 or who are 25 who've had a way more extensive, relationship life than I have. You know what I'm saying? So there are things that, even at 39 years old, I could learn from somebody that's 19, or somebody that's 24 or whatever. So, but I think that's really good that, you came on and, we were able to talk about it, and some of the
Mhm.
people could give you advice, and you could be honest and transparent enough to say, hey, even though at this point in my life, there's some things that I didn't see that some people
Mhm.
in the chat saw who were, half my age, or in their early 30s or whatever. So that's dope. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So um I have no idea the type of person I am. You know what I mean? I have no idea how I can move with somebody that I was with and that live on my floor. You know what I'm saying? And I
And
got
to
to
be
see them
we
every
had a
day.
conversation about that. We had a
Yeah,
conversation about that because his homies was kind of like, "Nah, man, I don't think that's a good idea." They was telling
right.
him, "I don't think that's a good idea." Da, da, da. And he was like, "And no, and I don't make nothing hard for nobody.
Mm,
It's all good. It's no animosity. It's not no, if I see him, hey, what's up? It's all good. It's no uncomfortableness. I
okay.
gotta live here too. I don't want to be uncomfortable, so I'm not gonna make it an uncomfortable situation.
Okay. So even if so, um, have you seen, like, from what you've seen, has he moved on? Has he brought another female on the floor? Like, I mean, have you seen any of that? I mean, I don't know. I gotta
So,
I gotta keep it real though.
you know what? Once I said what I said, because I'm very straight up. I
Okay.
told him what it was. I told him, like, look, you pull back at some point. I let him know at some point you pull back. Y'all, I don't know what it is, but hey, we still cool. We can be friends. I'm gonna date other people, and that was like weeks ago. And um, if I don't hit him up, of course he hits me up. I mean, you
Okay.
know how y'all men do. You you
Yeah.
you don't want to be in a relationship, but you don't want a person to forget about you either. So
Right.
that's the
Right.
game that's going on now. So
Right.
I entertain it for the moment. Like I said, we cool, whatever. But my options are wide open, and I know how I'm gonna go about the next situation that may come into play. I know exactly how to move, what to do and what not to do. Whereas before, hey, I was new to it. Even before him, and it had been a few years. I was with my ex-husband, and we were together for a really long time.
Hmm.
So it had really been a really long time since I actually was actually dating people. It's been a very long time. So I'm pretty much new to it, but I'm learning. I'm learning. And like I said, I saw the comments, and I do realize a couple of things where, you know, I might have went the wrong way with it. But it's okay. You learn from your mistakes. But no, there's been no other women. uh he still, lets me know what's going on with him. I'm still supportive, like like a friend. I'm still supportive. We're still cool. You know, we've sat and we've chit chatted. Talked and kicked it like any other time. It's just without the sex.
Okay. Okay.
So there haven't been no ramblings, of another woman. There wasn't no ramblings of any other woman, and I don't see it, at least not at this time, because I'm quite sure there always will be somebody. You know how men are. They not
Yeah.
gonna
I
sit
mean,
around and go without.
honestly,
But
I'm gonna keep it
yeah,
a buck. Like,
hmm
I just wouldn't bring Shorty over. I go to her
right,
spot. I
right,
wouldn't. I ain't
right,
gonna want you to see when.
right,
If I'm trying to
right,
keep my options open, I ain't
right,
gonna bring nothing to the crib. Like, if we
right.
on the
And that's
same
and that's
floor, I
kind
don't,
of how I was thinking. That's
yeah,
kind of how I was thinking. I was kind of thinking like, he probably wouldn't bring anybody here, but that's not stopping you from going over there.
yeah,
So I'm not blind to that fact either.
yeah, and that's real too. I see some people in the chat, saying some real things. I see Terrence and Sasha too. Yeah, he's also like, it's like he doesn't want you necessarily on the terms that you want, but he still wants access to you.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to be
Hmm.
mindful of that too going forward. Like,
Right, and I
don't give
think
him
part
too
of
much
me just
access.
does it sometimes. I think part of me just, you know, more than like this, probably because I haven't met anyone else. Pretty
Right.
much, my eyes are open, my options are open. The options just haven't come my way. you know, and it is COVID time, so it's
Right.
kind of hard to date during this time where it's only with so many places, you know, you can go. The cases then went up again, so you know they're shutting things back down. The capacity is, you know, they dropped the capacity percentages down for, you know, places you can go to, you know, all of that. So I'm
Mhm.
quite sure if we were in the middle of COVID, that yeah, I probably would have met someone else by by
Yeah.
now.
Now,
So
there was something else you said too. You didn't say it on the show, but you might have
mhm,
forgot about it. But I know we
mhm,
when we talked about it before, I think you mentioned it to either me or Rasha,
awesome. Mhm.
but to Rasha, yeah. And you were saying that, like, a while back, because we had some of the restrictions lifted, so we could go out and
Right.
and go get something to eat and hang out or whatever.
Mhm.
And I think you told Rasha, like, even when y'all could go out or do something, he didn't really want to go out.
Right.
So
He had a thing where he didn't feel comfortable going to any of the restaurants that type, because he was like, you know, the COVID. His He had a relative that died from COVID a couple of
okay,
months ago.
okay,
So and then his mom passed in the summer. So like he kind of was hanging on to that. Like he was kind of like, you know, I lost two people. You know, I don't feel comfortable going out. So we would do dinner at his place or whatever, or we'll go out and pick up something and come back. But he didn't want to like sit out in restaurants and like that kind of thing because he just didn't feel comfortable with the COVID.
okay. Yeah, because
Mm.
when I first heard it, I was like, well, yo, is he trying to, like, he don't want to be seen with her? And like,
At
I mean,
first,
that's
I
what I was thinking at
just
first.
brought it to his attention, and that was pretty much what he told me.
Okay,
And he
okay,
doesn't go out like that. That's the thing.
okay,
I'm not saying he doesn't come out the house, but he doesn't go out to like places like restaurants. He don't do any of them places anyway, with or without me.
okay, okay.
So I left it alone. Like once he told me how, you know, how he felt about it, I left it at that. You know, I try to respect people's, you know, whatever decisions you make for yourself. I just look at it like I can't change your mind. Like, and I'm not going to try to make you change your mind. It just is what it is, and if it worked between us, it works. If it doesn't, then I'm just going to move on.
Yeah, Sasha, I kind of agree. Like, here's what I know.
Hmm.
I know that COVID and no COVID, if I run into a female I want, we
Mm,
going out. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, like, look,
And I believe you, and what she said, what Sasha said.
uh-huh.
I believe what Sasha says.
Okay. Yeah, I
I,
mean,
I thought that as well.
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of gems being dropped in the chat, and even in our conversation as well. And what I mean, I just, you family, you know what I mean? You've been, you pulled up on the house and everything, you family. And so I look at you like that. I know, Rasha loves you. And you know, I just, I just want you to understand that, men move a certain way when it's something that we want. And it's
Mhm.
unfortunate that, you know, um, he wasn't honest, or he hasn't been honest about certain things, but that's the way we move a lot of times. We don't want to show our hand. You know what I
Right.
mean? So we say one thing and we do another.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's, you know, that's not, that's just to appease you. That's not to show you who we really are or whatever, because we're not showing you who we really are. We're showing you what we think you want to see in order to get
Right.
what we want. You know what I mean? And so, ladies, there's no age where you are immune to this. If you don't get anything out of this live, know that if you sitting here at 17 or 27, you say, you know what, if I'm single at 37, 47, 57, it's going to be different because I'm going to be more mature and these guys are going to be more
Right.
mature.
And
That
I
is
just
a
want to
lie.
say one more thing.
That is a lie from the pits of hell. You,
Yeah.
the
I do want to say
it's not going to be different. Dudes is going to play games, whether
right.
they 17 or 67 years old. We going to do
Yeah.
that.
Let me say this last part too. because I don't want, the listeners to think like, oh, I'm just green. No. What it was I've dealt with men over the years since I was, young or whatever. To be honest, this is the first guy that kind of got over on me like that. If that's how you want to say it. Yeah, this is the
Mm,
first man that I feel like kind of like worked me a little bit. I've never had this happen before. Like I've always been able to kind of, what I'm saying, all my other past relationships, whether it was a boyfriend, husband, just somebody I was dating for the moment, whatever. I
mm,
never experienced something like this before. So this is the first time I've ever dealt with a situation that went in this direction. I've never
okay.
had this issue before. Like I've never met a man in the past and he was telling me one thing and doing it. Like I've never dealt with this before. So this right here, this situation right here is actually new to me. I've never had something like this happen. I never had nobody come to me that way and kind of like maneuver around what they think I wanted.
Hmm.
This is all new to me. All
Okay.
my previous relationships and all that, they didn't come at me like this. So I didn't really see it going down like that from the beginning.
Okay. Um, and on that note, man, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna respect my sister's time and y'all time as well. I know we got Thanksgiving coming up. Y'all got to start prepping and all that, and whatever you got to do.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying. But I want to say this though, man. And somebody alluded to it in the chat. Um, Regardless of what situation we're in life, like right now, we're in a COVID environment. Um, People who want to play games are going to use anything at their disposal to play games. And so, you're going to see a lot of guys who are going to, and women who are going to use COVID or try to use COVID to their advantage. You know what I'm saying? Um, they'll be close to you. Y'all may work together. Y'all may live in the same building. Y'all may be a neighbor, you know what I mean? The same neighborhood, whatever. And so, and they understand, and look, everybody's not moving out like that. Nobody's moving around. COVID has things in a certain, you know, situation, and as people, we're we're designed and built to cohabitate, to be with other people, to fellowship, to bond or whatever. So people will try to use that to their advantage. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful of that, when y'all out here. I know these cats that never really, had the courage to step to y'all, y'all go to y'all go to college together, y'all live in the same building, might not have ever had the courage to step to you. Now with COVID and they know you ain't going nowhere, they put their bid in. You know what I'm saying? So, but just be mindful of that, man, and make sure that you are watching people's actions. Give them enough time to show you who they really are. You know what I mean? Watch how they respond in different environments. Watch how they respond when they get mad. Watch how they respond when they're happy about something, when somebody disappointed them. You know what I mean? Just make sure that you have your eyes open and your ears open and you're looking and you're listening, and you're making sure that you know the things that they're telling you, you can absorb that, you can take that in, but make sure that the things that you're seeing are lining up with that, and don't jump into the game too soon, and on a physical level. And older, I don't want to say older, but more seasoned ladies too, ladies who've been around the block a few times. The game is not different. It's not. So you still have to look at these guys a certain way. You know what I mean? I don't care who you are as a man. You could have, like, one of my favorite movies is Boomerang. You know what I mean? You look at Eddie Murphy's character, he had his way with every woman in that movie. And you know what I mean? So his confidence level was up. I ain't really took a L. I kind of was able to set the pace for every relationship I was in. But then he meets Robin Givens and she changes everything. And now he's the one acting different and doing things he's never done. So anybody and everybody can be put in a situation like that with the right person. So you just make sure that what this person is showing you and what they're telling you line up, and make sure that um and be honest with them too. You know what I mean? Say what you mean what you say. If something's on your mind, you say it. You know what I mean? Men unfortunately aren't, we don't do that as much as we should. But just make sure in this environment, um, your eyes are open. You know what I mean? Because people don't change. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people middle, 50, 60 years old, still playing games. Some of the highest STD rates in this country are in the middle age group, people who 50, 60 years old. Their STD rates are just as high or higher than younger people because they feel like, well, hey, I can't have kids no more, and he had kids and I had kids, so we can just go out here and do whatever. I ain't wearing nothing. I'm gonna be very liberal with that. And then our grandparents, their age group has some of the highest rates of STDs in the country. You know what I mean? So it don't get better. The more older and wiser you get. People still play games out here, so be mindful of that. I'm gonna let Sharita say, any last words, any parting shots. I'll check the chat if anybody has any questions, and then we're gonna get up out of here.
I just say thank you, for the comments, everybody that listened. This was definitely an eye opener. I don't know. This was a good experience. This was a good experience. It was nice to see what other people thought about the situation that I was involved in. It also gave me how do I want to say this? Them giving their opinions made me look at certain things that I didn't look at before. So, this was very beneficial for me. And then I know how to move forward out in this crazy dating world out here. Okay. But thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me on the show, Frank.
No problem. We're going to have to do a follow-up to my sister in here. We're going to have to do a follow-up, man. I'm going to give it like a few months. And then we're going to, we'll probably come back maybe like in the, spring or something, early spring. And
shout out
see
to
what
my
happens
sister too. My sister's on. Rika Ford is actually my sister, so shout out to her too. I believe my other sister's on, but she didn't comment. My other sister, Kim, is watching as well, listening.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I appreciate that. I see you, Rika, Miss Ford. Yeah, man. It's good to get other perspectives and people see things. When you're moving, when you're driving, you don't always see, every angle. You don't see your blind spot sometimes. So it's good to come out here and speak and be very candid and honest and let people, know what's going on, and people can see things that you might not see to help. You know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why I started this channel, because, a lot of this stuff that I talk about, it's not necessarily for other people. It's for me too. I'm learning, like there are certain topics that I speak on that have a lot of myself in it. You know what I mean? So I'm learning too. You know what I mean? So I'm not sitting up here like I'm a guru, like I don't make mistakes or take L's and nothing like that. I come up here, I speak to the people comment, chat, and I get game from them too. You know what I mean? So it's always an exchange here. But we definitely, man, I'm we gotta have you back on, man, because I gotta see how brother move next. I gotta see what his next play, his next play is. You know what I mean? I need to know something. So maybe we'll have we'll have you come back, and whenever you want to talk about it or whatever, I definitely have you back on. I just want to say to everybody, I want to say happy holidays to you. Happy Thanksgiving. I do my shows every Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I won't be able to see y'all until after Thanksgiving. So I want y'all to have a happy Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? I hope the Washington football team beats the Cowboys on Thursday. You know what I mean? I hope we, because we're horrible right now, but I hope, we get that win. And I hope you guys can, have a great holiday. If you spend time with your family, y'all be safe, man. Wash your hands, stay 6 feet away from other people. You know what I mean? And Sasha, I hope you have a very nice vegan turkey. You know what I'm saying, for Thanksgiving. I don't know how you do that, but get you a vegan turkey or something, and enjoy yourself. And so if you guys enjoyed yourself, if you haven't, if this is your first time listening to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, share if you feel led to do so. I would greatly appreciate that. So if you want to, so in the future, I have a Man Cave mail series where people will send me emails and they'll ask me questions about anything, everything, relationships, all of that topics that they want me to talk about on the show. So if you have anything like that, you can email me, please, frankjrivers@gmail.com. I do consultations as well. If you want to talk about something, you having a relationship issue, you want to talk offline, what I mean? I'll definitely do that for y'all. And if you want to support the channel, financially, you can do that. I am monetized now on YouTube, so you can super chat, or you can contribute financially through PayPal or Cash App. So I'm on Cash App, $ View from the Man Cave, and I'm on PayPal as well, paypal.me/View from the Man Cave, man. So on that note, we will bid y'all adieu. Y'all be safe out here.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Absolutely. And I will see y'all next week, Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all be safe. All right.
Thank you.